U.S. Congress, will you support a congressional convention? Will you do something about the Federal Reserve? And will you hold the President of the United States accountable for circumventing the U.S. Constitution? Thanks again, Sylvia. I appreciate it.
The answer to your question is yes, I will. Because just like the President of the United States would get a little irritated if you walked in the Oval Office and I was sitting there with my feet up signing legislation on his desk, I don't appreciate him telling the legislature how they're going to do their job. Nobody bullies me. The only person that I'm intimidated by is 68 years old. He's retired. He lives in Sun City. And the old man has already told me, you screw up in Washington, I swear I will come up there, and he's serious. So if I don't do my job, don't waste your money on the trip. Just call Sun City. He'll probably drive you. You guys can make one trip. He'll hold me. You can beat me. Absolutely. Yeah, I actually, on a serious note, I had a gentleman who said, well, I'm serious. You think your dad will do that? I said, you got a pen? He looked at me and I said, here's his phone number, and I gave it to him. The guy called my dad. My dad called me and said, who's this guy that builds engines in Nevada? Oh, I ran into him in Washington. I told him that you'd beat me up if I did anything wrong. Told him to call me. He goes, well, he called just to see if it was a real number. I'm glad I didn't give him phony money to come and got a hold of me somehow. So, and to answer your question, the federal, if you can be audited, and I can be audited, why can't the agency in charge of all the currency for the United States of America be audited? Where does the arrogance come from? Where's that power? Where did the Federal Reserve get the power that they're above any law, that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want? I mean, it's already clear. Our Secretary of the Treasury, he doesn't even pay his taxes. I figured out why people in Washington don't mind raising taxes. Half of them don't even pay them. That's how I figured out how they don't care. They should be audited. They should be audited regularly. That's our money. This is our economy. It's not their economy. It's my economy. It's your economy. It's everybody's economy in this room. And people who say that we've had the greatest 200 years in this nation, the greatest 200 are the next 200. And if we don't do something about it, we don't audit the Fed, and we don't check our president, and we don't make sure he follows the Constitution, and we don't stick him where he only does things that fall under the executive branch authority, we aren't going to have the greatest 200 years. And somebody's going to have to explain to somebody's kids why that is. It's not going to be me, because I'm going to be able to explain to them, I fought like hell, people. And I came up short. And I don't want to have to give that speech. Don't make me have to give that speech to people. Hang on one second, John. Or, Eric. But it's on.
JFK signed into law 10 days before he died to disband the Federal Reserve. He had currency already printed up to put out with their name off of it. After he was killed, they got rid of the currency, and the bill has never been brought up again. They are working illegally.
I absolutely share your concerns. I don't know where the Federal Reserve got the authority to print the coin money and to run our financial institution the way that they have. We've given all of our authority to run our finances to what amounts to a private company with very limited government oversight, because when you try to oversee them, they get all fired up about it. And you have to question yourself, when the people in charge of our economy don't want you to know what they're doing, that's a red flag. That should be your first concern.
I've got two questions.